Do-do-do. All right, I think we are up and running. Welcome back, everybody. What's going on? We are back. We are in Anguilla today. We're gonna do sort of a new take on a familiar flight. So I've been wanting to hit one of my favorites, which is St. Eustatius, which is a cool little airport on the way down. Congo Beats, you can, if you go into Flight Sim 24 and put in, East USA server and all pilots, or all players rather, then you can join up and you should see us all. More than happy to have you come along. And let's see here. We got Sheb over there in the corner. Who we got else around here? I know we got some other people. I saw Bedbug earlier. He's in the Bonanza. I was thinking about flying a Bonanza today too, but I'm in the Just Flight Warrior today. So we're gonna be Congo Beats. That's awesome. Yeah, of course. Hey, matey, what's going on? Thanks for that. That's awfully kind of you. Appreciate that, man. How you doing? I've been watching your videos lately. I've been watching all your fun little hops there. But much appreciated for that. It's awfully kind of you, matey. Thanks, brother. All right, let's settle in here. Yeah, Congo Beats. We don't rush out the door, so you can catch us up. We're gonna be. I mean, I'm gonna be in the Warrior, so I'm putting along. You're probably faster than me, regardless of what you're flying. So you catch us up. No worries. We're not gonna leave you behind. And gonna adjust my screen there a little bit. All right, we'll go toes on the brakes. Let's go. Fuel selector is on the lowest tank, which is the left tank. That's what I want. Go rotating beacon on. Mixture rich. Carb heat is cold. Master and battery switches on. Fuel pump on. No need to prime. Take a look outside. Make sure there's nobody outside to kill or maim. And we'll engage the starter. Is a good start. Mags to both, throttle to 1,000 RPM, which is awesome. And hey, matey, I always watch your videos, man. They're great. I enjoy watching your stuff. Thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate it. All right, throttle to 1,000 RPM. Oil pressure is good. Let's turn the fuel pump off. Fuel pressure is good. We'll lean the mixture for taxi. Avionics master coming on. Let's see. We are. It's pinned in the top, but it's right now we are at Tango Quebec Papa Foxtrot. Let me think about that. All right. Let's see here. I keep goofing these things up. I got to reset my views in this airplane. They don't quite work. So databases are current. We got half up, half left, 48 gallons on board, which is correct. And again, I keep goofing that up. So that's good. TAWS test is going to give us a shout here really soon. Let's set our
system test. Okay.
Awesome. Set the altimeter, and those are good. And let's go set the nearest airports are TNC. I didn't realize it was 10 nautical miles. All right, so transponders on standby. Let's release the parking brake. And off we go. It seems like there's check the brakes. Brakes are working. There is VATSIM coverage down here today, so there may be more more people about. which would be pretty cool. What's going on, Sheb? How you doing? And do a lazy flight control check here. It's a really lazy flight control check. We'll go nav and strobe lights on, landing lights on. Ouch. Go fuel pump on. And let's see. Runway looks sort of clear. I'll back taxi a little bit here. Who quits bread? Not a good plan. Not a good plan. So, off we go. I'm gonna go all the way back, I think, today. Good to hear it, Sheb. I'm in the mood for flying today. I'm happy to be. I was thinking about flying yesterday, but this the time changes just killed me this year. I don't know about you guys. Seems like every year the spring forward gets worse and worse to deal with, you know? I don't know. I just don't like it. But this is gonna be a fun flight. I like all of these airports. Beautiful day. Live weather. Taxiing at 30 knots. Not good, not good, not good. Alright, fuel pumps on. Well, mixture rich. Carb heats, cold primers in and locked. Flaps are set. Trim is good. Let's spin it around here. And off we go. Takeoff power is coming in. I'm going to be the slowpoke on this flight. Takeoff power is coming in. Takeoff power is set. Airspeed's alive. 65 knots. Off we go. A little bit of a crosswind today. Not too bad. Not too bad. And looking off the left-hand side, just in case we get an engine failure. 85 knots is good. Those there's one field right out there. There's one field right over there. That's what I'd be looking at right now. 600 feet. Start our turn. Looking good. What a day. What a day. There's 1,000 feet. Let's check. Fuel pump off. Fuel pump is off. Fuel pressure is good. Alright. What a day for it. I'm gonna go 1,500 feet. St. Kitts there off in the distance. This guy, I maybe should have picked a slightly faster airplane, but that's alright. I love flying this plane. Go 1,500 feet. There we go. And come in a little bit there with the power. So let's see here. Let's see here. What do we got? Airplane is arguing with me. It doesn't want to stop climbing. Cool. That's another cool airplane, the DA-40 TDI. I was talking to a friend of mine about that the other day. The new diesel airplanes. It's an interesting theory for sure. Diesel airplane engines. You can run Jet A fuel in diesel engines. That's why they have diesel airplanes. Whoa! No wonder we're goosing it here a little bit. But yeah, you can run diesel Jet A in diesel airplanes and vice versa. You can run diesel in a jet engine if you had to. Wouldn't want to do it for very long, but you could. So, but those Diamond diesel engines are pretty sweet. Pretty efficient airplane engine. We got. Alright, so we got for weather here. Let's see here. Weather should be pretty tame today. Let's see here. We have 160 090 at 16, I believe. 090 at 16 knots today, so pretty much straight down the runway. A little bit of low-level turbulence today, it seems. Singapore, is that you, Congo Beats? Sheb out checking out my favorite part of Anguilla. It's starting to get a little dark over here. Bring a little bit of power out. It's starting to get a little dark over here. That's Saba right there off the nose. That's where we're going next, and then we'll go right down the chain here. St. Eustatius, St. Kitts, Nevis, and then over to, well, that's St. Bart's you see right there, but alright. Let's go. Fuel pump on. Final approach course is looking clear. What's going on here at I almost wanted to do this on whoops. I almost wanted to do this on VATSIM. Let's see. Can't keep this thing slowed down. I know, it's a much faster airplane than mine, that's for sure. Let's throw out one notch of flaps here. Power coming back to 21. Paolo, what's going on? How you doing? Oh, we got jet traffic off the nose. Gotta be good aviation citizens here. I want to keep the speed up a little bit. Well, I gotta give him room to backtrack, actually. Let's go next notch. Let's come back to 1900. Fuel pumps on, mixture's rich, carb heat's cold. Give it some trim here. Do. There's one. There's one red. 75 knots. Perfect. Alright. Glad to hear that, Paolo. Things are going pretty well here too, actually. Got a pretty decent headwind, so he's getting
500.
He's getting turned around. I get myself on center line here. I'm gonna do touch and go here. Keep right on going. Get a little bit of power out. It is a little squirrely down here today. It's more than a little squirrely. Yeah. I got low again. Oh, this is bad. Gotta get back up on glide path here. Alright, that's a little bit better. That's a little bit better. See what Shep's got for us today. Alright, power coming out. Power's all the way out. Little balloon. Oi! Not too bad. Ah, mixture's rich. We'll go flaps down. Check our trim. Trim is good. Power coming in. Congo beats. I don't know. It should. If you put it on all players, it should be good. Should be good. Alright, let's keep the nose down here. If you set it to all players in the flight, what is it? Flight in the free flight page on the upper right hand corner, it says flight, not flight characteristics, flight what? That's the word I'm looking for. It's but if you select all players, you should see this. Let's see here. Alright, let's see. There's 1,000 feet. We'll go fuel pump off. Fuel pressure is good. Go direct. At TNCS, there we go. Alright, we're going 3,000 feet on this one. Maybe it's possible. Do you have traffic turned off? You have to have some traffic turned on in your settings. But it should let you. It's kind of odd. Let's see, direct to 10. Let's see here. Alright, there we go. There we go. We must have a decent left crosswind. We must have a decent left crosswind. I'm gonna be the slowpoke today. That's for sure. 2,500 climbing 3,000. Start leaning the mixture here a little bit. You get some angry weather down here, like in the early to mid-afternoon. A lot of energy in the atmosphere. 50 feet below our cruise altitude. Power back, put the nose down. Give it a nice big shot of trim. What we got? Yeah, that'll come up. Alright. That RPM will come up a little bit as we trim the nose down. So my nemesis, 31 knot crosswind, yeah. Jeez. No wonder. Alright. Hopefully this will settle here a little bit. So let's see what we got for TNCS. I don't even know if they'll have a METAR. 090. Yeah, it's giving us Princess Juliana. So, let's see here. Come on, Congo Beats. Once you get it figured out, we are at, or we're going to TNCS. I'm still burning off the left tank, trying to level this thing out here. Look at this. That's what are we, about 15 miles out? Okay. Let's go pitot heat on here. Oh, that's carby. Don't want that. Oh, there's pitot heat. Alright. Alright, let's do some IFR flying here. Alright, now we are getting on course. So probably about a 10 degree correction, I'd say. So I'm gonna hold 200 and see what we get. Yeah, that's gonna be just about right. See what we get here. I don't fly enough. I don't hand fly enough instrument flight in the sim. It's pretty cool stuff. Let's see. We got here. Runway 12 QNH 1016. Let's come down here. Runway 12 QNH 10. Oh, it's only in. Okay, what is it in? That's kind of a bummer. I thought this airplane would have it in both. It doesn't. Okay. So, that's that. Start aiming out here a little bit to the right. The Grim Reaper. Weather's looking pretty cool. Alright. Got those grid lines back, which are sort of annoying, but they seem to come and go. $12 miles. About 10 miles out, I'll start pulling some power here. Wonder what everybody's doing down here today. Let's see who's out there. Yeah, we got some VATSIM traffic out here. Who we got? San Juan approaches on. Juliana approaches on. I'm too high. Alright. Let's come out a little bit on the power. Huh, I'm on a perfect left base right now. Yeah, those grid lines, I don't know. They're only like minorly annoying, but they are annoying. That's Statia. That's a cool airport. That's next up. There was a hold on. Let's see here. Alexander Hamilton was born in Nevis. Kind of interesting. Cheating doing LNAV VNAV. That ain't cheating, my friend. What are we doing here? I see you got yourself on a nice stable approach. I finally had to switch my cameras because I keep selecting the wrong camera. And if I just keep doing that, I'm gonna wind up driving myself crazy. That's a cool airplane. That's the stock DA-62, right? That's a cool... I like that airplane. That was an airplane I would love to have in real life. Alright, let's do... Hey, Congo, we'll be there in a little bit. We'll have a little pause at Saba anyway, because we're gonna be taxiing off the runway, and we'll be there, my friend. Alright, let's see here. The only thing I don't like about activating the visual approach is that you lose the airspeed you lose the airspeed indication over here, and that in this airplane without a G1000, that gives me an idea what my ground speed is, or tells me what my ground speed is. We are going to Saba. This is, let me see here, TNCS. Saba. Then after Saba, we go TNCE. This is my nemesis. I can never get this runway. I can never get this approach, this landing any good. Of course, this is also this is the shortest commercial runway in the world. So I mean, it's not like I'm embarrassing myself. Because this is a challenging runway. Alright. We're good for a notch of flaps. We'll go notch of flaps. We'll go fuel pump on. Let's go mixture rich. Carb heat is cold. Primer's in and locked. Start slowing the airplane down here a little bit. So I was gonna try and fly last Sunday, but with the time change, I just got totally goofed. It wipes me out. Like I was tired the entire week this week. They say the Monday after the time change is the #1 heart attack day in the world. We'll go. I think we're pretty good actually right here. Do a second notch of flaps. And we'll start. Let's see what we can do here. Airspeed's good. I like where I am. Hey, B3 Burner, what's going on? I'm doing great. We're just doing some Caribbean flying today. And that says I am low on the glide slope, but I shouldn't be. Well, maybe I am. Alright. Let's bring in a little bit of power. Airspeed's good. How you doing, B3 Burner? What's going on? Just trying to catch up to the vertical profile. Airspeed's solid. Definitely a good stiff left crosswind. $2 miles should, I mean, that can't be right, because 2 miles we should be at about 600 feet on a normal glide path, but that's all right. If you go into flight interface and turn on, you can turn on nameplates right there in flight interface. In the settings.
500.
Alright. Airspeed's good. I don't trust that vertical glide path on this one. That can't be right. There's no way I can be that far below it. Just gonna try to sit right where I am power-wise, and we'll see what happens here. Yep, I was smart not to pull any more power out. 'Cause that would have That would have not worked. Alright. A little bit of power. I'll get the nose up. A little bit more power out. Alright, power's all the way out. Oopsie. I mean, it wasn't brilliant. It wasn't terrible. Better than I usually do here. Better than I usually do here, I'll tell you that. Not too bad, if I may say so. So, just taxi clear here. Not too bad. I'm relatively pleased with that. Hey, Congo Beats, there he is. We got a load of airplanes in here. Let's see here. It's another Saba airport. This is a great little airport. One of these days, I will come see it in real life. I've never been here in real life, but it's a cool airport. All right, let's see here. What we got? Well, we're gonna want a notch of flaps. Trim, that's a little too far aft. We'll leave the fuel pump on. All right. So, runway is looking clear. What I should have done is Franklin Delano Roosevelt Field. Interesting. One of my favorites. I love this next airport for no particular reason. There's nothing tremendously interesting about it. It's just, I've always liked this airport. Check the altimeter. Altimeter is good. All right. That was fun. Never felt like I was as low as the vertical guidance said I was. All right, let's do a short field takeoff here. I'll get myself straightened out first of all. All right, mixture's rich. Fuel pump is on. One notch of flaps. Toes on the brakes. Power coming in. There's 2350 RPM. That's good. Release the brakes. Should have a crosswind correction in. Or wait. You should have the correct crosswind correction in. What goosed me up is that some of the airports, the windsocks are wrong, and some of the airports the windsocks are correct, which is not particularly helpful. This is, I think, the only island in the Caribbean without a beach. There are no beaches. There are no beaches in Saba. I dropped the nose just a tiny bit. Bring that notch of flaps up. Cool. Alright. And Congo Beats, you'll catch us because you're definitely faster than me. Let's see what we got here. Direct is 137. So what do we got? About right. About right yonder here. There's 1,000 feet. Fuel pump off. Fuel pressure is good. We still got a little bit of a, I think if I aim right for that edge there, we'll have a good, should have a good heading. We are, hey D3, we just left TNCS going to TNCE. We're just climbing out of TNCS, which is a cool airport. So you can see how far I've gotten pushed off. See how far I've gotten pushed off. Let's see here. That's about a good heading. I think 2,000 feet is going to suffice. But, we'll go 3,000. Why not? Why not? I should be... I think I'd be making more power than this. No, we're going to TNCE, and we're gonna keep we'll keep on going south. After that, we go. The flight plan is pinned in the chat, but we'll go. We're going TNCS, TNCE, TKPK, TKPN, and then TAPA. TAPA, time permitting. I think we're gonna have time, but. And my... Oh, I left the pitot heat on. Start leaning the mixture. I don't know why. I'm still getting the leans to the left, even though... Alright. I've been burning fuel off the left side the entire time to try to balance the plane out. But it does not want to be balanced. Prepare to take off. No way, next week. That's awesome. That is awesome. I am jealous. Like, majorly jealous. I'm thinking about going down. Thinking about going down like first week of May, but we'll see. That's awesome. Enjoy that. That is some cool stuff. Alright. Leaning out a little bit. So, prepare to take off. This is going to be your first trip down? If so, you are in for a treat, man. That is so cool. Every time I land in St. Maarten, all I want to do is get out and kiss the ground. It makes me so happy. Oh, you're going to have so much fun. It is so... Have you ever been anywhere else in the Caribbean before? It is so much fun. It's just so beautiful. The Caribbean is just amazing. Caribbean's just amazing. Let's see. Do we have a METAR? I doubt it. In St. Eustatius, probably not. Only Nassau. So the water's warmer. The water's definitely warmer than Nassau. That's for darn sure. It's just awesome. I mean, it's like bath water. It's the craziest thing. It's literally like bath water. Like being in a hot tub. It's just so cool. We're 10 miles out, so let's go. Bring some power out. Yeah. So are you staying in St. Maarten? You're going to St. Bart's? You're going to stay in St. Bart's? I've flown into St. Bart's. I've never stayed in St. Bart's. Let's see. Staying on Maho. Yeah. So we did that a couple years ago. Actually, our first post-COVID trip. We stayed at a hotel called, I'll type it in the chat. We stayed at a place called Mary's Boon on Simpson Bay, and it is literally right next to the airport. I mean, you could, there was a little, like a viewing platform. Yeah, St. Bart's is too expensive. I totally agree with you on that one. There's a viewing at Mary's Boon. There's a viewing platform on the top of the hotel, and you can just sit there and watch airplanes land. But you can also just sit in the water and watch airplanes land. It's pretty sweet. Alright, runway 6 here. Royal Islander La Plage. I know that. I gotta look and see. Royal Islander La Plage. Let me see here. Royal Islander La Plage. Oh, okay. I see where you're gonna be. Yup. There's the oil terminals right there. You should definitely get a good view from there. Let's see. Where is it? Don't want to crash when I'm looking for the hotel, but let's see. Oh, dude, you're right there. Yeah, you should. Yeah, you're right there. So you should definitely get a good view. Alright. Let's see. Everybody's gonna beat me over there. There's somebody in the 152. Let's bring it in straight. Let's see here. What we got? What we got? Finally, are we finally not leaning to the left here? Alright, let's go. Switch to the fullest tank. Alright. Looking good. EWR. Yeah, Newark. I've never flown out of Newark. Let's see. Yeah, I've never flown out of Newark, but yeah, direct flight is great. I only fly American Airlines, so we usually have to stop in Miami. But it works out alright. Yes, this is St. Eustatius. It is indeed. One of my favorite little airports in the Caribbean. Yeah, you're gonna have a good time staying there. It's great. It's just a fun area to be in. What are you doing? Let us see here. This is a really little. This is a really slow way to land a Cherokee at this airport. Probably should have shortened this approach a little bit, but that's all right. I'll put a notch in. See, Maho for 2 days and the rest. You know what's if you like eating, if you like good food. Oh, jeez, I went straight through the. I'm like not paying attention here. If you like good food, go to Grand Casse on the French side. It is phenomenal. Great restaurants in Grand Casse. Alright, now let's start paying attention here, Captain. See, again, I don't buy the fact that I'm that low. But let's see. Let us see. Okay, we'll just do some S turns down final here, I guess. Boy, this is how not to land an airplane is what this is. All right. Let's see here.
500.
All right. Yeah, isn't this a cool... It's just a fun approach. It's even better if you fly it correctly. I'll go next notch of flaps. Alright, let's go fuel pump on, mixture rich. Carb heat is cold, primer's in and locked. Seat belts are secure, pre-landing checklist is complete. You can see how far of a crosswind correction I've got to hold here. Quite a crab. But I'm just going to hold it right like it is. It's pretty windy, so I'm going to keep a little bit more speed. Well, at least I was until I hit that downdraft. See that? I should have been ready for that. I tell you what, this is not. This is not how to fly an airplane. It is not how to fly an airplane. Jeez. Decent crosswind landing. Everything else was atrocious. Everything else was terrible. Alright. Let's swing it around here. Boy, that was bad. Commodore 64 box. I love it. Let's see if I can get out of his way here. I love the fact that Pilot Daniel's holding short. That's cool. It's cool watching people do, like, real flying things. Get out of the way here. I'm gonna run poor Pilot Daniel over here, which is... He's doing a wheelie. But, let's see here. Potentially somebody who knows what they're doing now. Look at that. This is why... This is a Freeware airport. I mean, it's not the most, like, you know, crazy advanced airport in the world, but honestly, that somebody did this much work on a Freeware airport, I think it's fantastic. Alright, let's check our trim here. Alright, and no need for flaps. Spin around here. That was so cool. I love seeing that. Pilot Daniel holding short, for landing traffic, waiting for his turn. That was awesome. I'm going to do him the same courtesy. All right, let's set the altimeter. What's next up here? Next up is TKPK, 18.6 nautical miles. We're going 140. All right. And Daniel's going to get matriculating here. And he's 150. Or 152, I guess it is. So let's see here. Runway head. Bearing is 140. Runway 7, I do believe. That was cool. I love seeing that. Seeing somebody hold short for traffic. That's awesome. Good on you, Pilot Daniel. Good on you. Yeah, I mean, for freeware, that's incredible, isn't it? I just think that's so cool. Alright. Let's see. Mixture's rich. Primer in and locked. Flaps are good. Carb heat's cold. Life is looking good here. God, that was an awful, awful demonstration of how to land an airplane. Boy, was that poor. Let's see if we can do a decent takeoff anyway. Alright. Crosswind correction is in. Takeoff power coming in. Takeoff power is set. 2350. That's looking good. Airspeed's alive. Engine instruments are in the green. Whoops. See, the ground handling is not superb. I think what happens is because that's a right crosswind. I think what happens is the vertical stabilizer has too much of an influence on the ground handling, and it just pushes the nose off to the other side. Either that or I'm a terrible pilot. D336, that's so cool that it was you who did that. I thought that was, I was just thinking that was a random player. And I love seeing stuff like that. Watching somebody hold short for traffic, you know, because that's the whole idea of multiplayer, you know? And like, that would be so cool if everybody in multiplayer did what you just did. Like, it would make it so much fun. Good on you. That was awesome. That's so cool. I'm so glad that it was somebody flying with us. That's awesome. So here is this. It's a great plane. That's a very underappreciated plane in the sim too. It really is. Look at this. You tell me this isn't fun in your home office sitting here doing this? Come on. Freaking brilliant. And that, like, stuff like this, like the solar farms are just, it's just so cool that all this detail is in the sim. I used to use, somebody was asking me about the map enhancement mod the other day. I don't use it. Don't need it. Don't need it in this sim, in my opinion. Prepared to take off. Yes, I think 2024 is so much better than. I mean, look, if I had never seen Flight Sim 24, Flight Sim 2020 is fantastic, and it is fantastic. And if you're happy with it, like, the transition to it takes a little bit of time. It definitely does. 2200 climbing 3000. It definitely takes some time. There's no question about it. You know, getting everything set up the way you like it will take you a little bit, but I'll tell you why I like it better. Like, the visuals are better, like the atmospheric, like the clouds and the mist and like the light clouds and these kinds of, like, these greens are just so vibrant to me in this sim in a way that they really aren't in the other sim. You know, and I think that, like, just this sort of weather and the glare, and it just looks better to me. But also the flight dynamics are way better Like the actual flight models. There's 50 feet below our cruise altitude. Pull some power. Push the nose over. Like the actual flight dynamics are so much better. For one thing, I'll give you a really simple example. Like in 2024, you have to use rudder. You have to use rudder in turns, whereas in 2020 you don't. You know, and for me, I mean, I just think that's pretty cool. You know. Let's see. No, that's not what I'm looking for. We're looking for this. So I mean, just the actual flying is better in 24. So I mean, I haven't used 2020 in a long time, and I kept it on my computer because there was where am I going? Oh, looking at this, I'm not a child of the magenta line. I started flight training before the magenta line was driving everybody's lives. But I'm sitting here like, that's so funny how you can be convinced by this little screen over here that what you're seeing out your window is not correct. I'm like looking at the line. I'm like, why am I going way over there? Because the airport is behind this mountain. That's why. I haven't tried career mode, but everybody that I mean, it sounds like a lot of people really like it. You know, I think it's a cool idea. My problem is I don't get a lot of time to actually fly, honestly. I mean, I spend an embarrassing amount of my time flying to make videos, honestly. You know, I mean, these Sunday flights are pretty much the majority of my fun flying, which is sort of sad. How do we turn this baby on? What we got here at Stellar Approach? What's going on? You know, the 152 is not that much slower than I am. You'll only be a couple minutes behind me, and I'm second slowest. So out of our group, let me see. We've got a. There should be a. Is it an NDB on the field here? I don't think so. I think there's a VOR on the field here. Where are we here? Do. No, it is an NDB. Hopefully my plane is not crashing. Let's see here. There is an NDB. There is an NDB. $325. Let's see. I've never actually dialed in an NDB. Let's see here. Nah, I don't even know how to bring it up, to be honest with you. You can listen to the radio on those things, which is kind of funny. Alright. Let's see. I know I am going to redline the RPM. Let's see here. Don't need another career to stress you out. Yeah, I hear you on that. I love people who say I don't know what I would do if I was retired. I'm not going to have that problem, trust me. If I was retired, all I would do is fly flight sim all day long, every day. Well, that's probably not all I would do, but I would certainly do a lot of it. I would certainly do a lot of it. Let's go visual runway 7. And instead of being so rigid, I'm going to fly a shorter, more natural approach here and see how we can... What are we, about 9 miles out? Alright, let's bring 100 RPM out. Normally in the real plane, I would pull out 200 RPM. But if you pull out 200 RPM in the sim, it drops like 1,000 foot a minute. Oh, Kirakan, that's awesome, man. Good for you. Good for you. Paolo, I wish I could, man. I tell you. I wish I could. I would. Believe me. Let me see. GPS spoofing is a thing now with Russia and Ukraine drone wars. Yeah. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right about that. You are absolutely right about that. And it happens in places you don't think, really, you know? I mean, just generally speaking, you should... I personally always like to have any sort of space-based navigation backed up with ground-based navigation. I think it's a big... The U.S. is slowly phasing out VORs, and I think it's a mistake. I really do. I think it is a mistake. But what do I know? Alright, I'm gonna aim right for this. We're just gonna bring it in there, and we're gonna slow ourselves down. We'll see what we get here. Let's see. Flew the entire circumference of North America. Oh, that is so cool, Sheb. You know, I actually thought about doing that once. I thought about flying the circumference of Africa, counterclockwise, so I could watch the whole. So I could just sit here and do this. You know, that's such a cool idea. And that's what blows me away about this sim is like stuff like that is actually like a viably enjoyable thing to do. You know what I mean? That's just wild. How cool is that? Yeah, stellar approach. I totally agree. There's gonna come a day where somebody's gonna say, "Why did we do that?" Alright, at 5 miles and 2,300 feet, or 2,500 feet, I should probably start coming down. I was talking about this in a video I did the other day. I correct for problems I don't have yet. Like, I'm always low on approaches. Always low. And so I try to come in a little higher, but that's not the right way to do it. Like, you should try to fly the approach properly. If you're high, you're high. If you're low, you're low. But I shouldn't anticipate being high, or being low, rather. Yeah, the runway 28 is fun. That's actually a very underappreciated approach. And I have a buddy of mine who flies in there basically every day. And he says that they land anything less than 10 knots, they land runway 28 basically as a rule. They only land runway 10 to show off. Or if the wind is stronger than 10 knots, which it often is. But the day that I've flown into St. Bart's once in real life, and actually the video's on my channel, and see, this cannot be right. There is no way I am under the glide path. There is no way. But the only reason he landed 10 that day was to show me was because he knew that's what I wanted to see. Like, otherwise he would have landed 28. Alright. the RNAV approach into here. Mr. Anderson, what's going on? Yeah, I mean, back when I had time to fly, that's one of the things I really wanted to do was fly the circumference of Africa. In something like, I was thinking like maybe the TBM, but the C208 is perfect for doing that. So the RNAV approach to runway 7 here is I think it's a 3.4 degree glide slope, 3.3, because of the all the houses and everything here, right here, short of the runway. See, I just don't believe this. I just do not believe this at all. There is absolutely no way I am below the glide slope or glide path. No way. Yeah, I mean they will. The reason, and the most of the reason they do is just 'cause it's more economical. It's cheaper. You know, the shorter the flight. I mean, Win Air always uses 10. Tradewind always uses 10. All right. So this feels a little weird. Look at this.
500.
Yep, I know. Well, I didn't really know. I mean, stabilized, that's, I guess, is what. And again, I'm getting into. This time I'm paying attention. I love Realtor. Realtor really gives you some. Oh, this is terrible. Look at this. I mean, look at this. It just, the updrafts are insane. Alright. I mean, the updrafts are just crazy. I just pulled the power to idle. I mean, it's just, I don't know. Airplanes feel very floaty sometimes. Let's see here. I suppose there's no point. I suppose there's no point in taxiing all the way down and around, but I guess I will. Yeah, we'll taxi around. I just, for some reason, I get in these at some of these points and these approaches, you just the plane just floats. It just floats, and it will not come down. But anyway, yeah, prepared for takeoff. So I keep saying prepared for takeoff, to takeoff. There's another regular on our group flights. We can probably just take off from right here, no? But another regular on our group flights is on Xbox, and he says the performance is pretty good. It's just the fact that there's no the mods, the freeware stuff, you know, which is true. We gotta follow the good example here. All right, let's see. What do we got for trim? Gonna be all nose up. Let's see here. All right, there's that. Flaps, we'll go no flaps. All right, and next up is a real quick hop. This is it is 10 miles. I guess it's not that short, but heading on 145. Let's see here. Whoops. And it is runway what? Let me see here. PK. Let's get our METAR from here. Okay, well, 090 variable 050 to 130. So I guess it's a little bit. Wind is a little bit jumpy. 090 at 17 is what they're calling it here. Alright. So, shall I lead us out? I'm gonna run Congo Beats over here. Alright. We'll go mixture rich, fuel pumps on. Car beats cold, primers in and locked. And this is another one of my favorite airports. It's especially fun to land jets at. Alright. Heading indicator checks with the runway number. Crosswind correction is in. Airspeed's alive. Engine instruments in the green. Roll that crosswind correction out. And off we go. This is another one from SLH Sim Designs. And look at this thing. It's head skyward. And there's a departure stall. Alright. Oh, it's weird. The ground right here for some reason has always looked kind of bland. Maybe they just don't have good satellite coverage. There's 1,000 feet. I'm gonna make this trip at 1,500. Remember how I was saying before that you have to use rudder in this sim? I'm not using rudder, which is poor form. This sim is giving me pilot complex about my piloting abilities. I haven't flown a real plane since like, I don't know, October, because it's so cold. I don't like flying in the cold. And when my landings are so consistently crappy in the sim, I start wondering. I start wondering about myself. It's 1,500 feet. Alright. So somebody told me what the visual approach is that the locals use here. I forget what it is. Alright. See if we can remember on the way over. Let's see here. Oh yeah, the some of the hardware. I do not use force feedback. I've got the all my stuff is all honeycomb Alpha Bravo Charlie. I probably should probably step up. This is runway 7 again. Yeah, it is windy today. It is windy today. I just feel like my landings are garbage lately. I can't quite. Let's go fuel pump on. I can't quite. Whoopsie, yeah, that'll start the descent. And I'm just trying to go back to basics, like flat landing in the sim is way harder than landing in real life. For sure. Like way harder. But anyway, let's see here. Sounds good to me. Oh, I bet the shrimp restaurants around here are fantastic. I had about, I think it was maybe 2023. We go to Anguilla pretty much every year. My wife and I, and 2023, all I did was eat Caribbean rock lobster. That's literally all I ate. And at one point, this is kind of a funny, I mean, it's kind of a weird story, but at one point we went to dinner and we came home and we're just like getting like settled in at the hotel, and I looked down and my freaking feet swelled up. And it was because I had so much salt. Because the Caribbean rock lobster is really salty. It's really salty. And I had been eating lobster day after day after day. And it was like, my body was just like, okay, knock it off. It's really kind of weird. So I think the visual approach that the locals use is right like about a 60-degree or 30-degree offset to this hill and turn it in, if I remember correctly. So let's see if we can get one decent approach and landing here. And this is where all the restaurants and beach bars are at the end of St. Kitts. And there's a really nice hotel right along here. Not like, when I say really nice hotel, what I mean is it has a nice beach. I don't care if it's 2 stars. I want a nice beach. Alright, we'll go fuel pump on. See, in this thing, I'm almost tempted to try and capture that glide path and see it and just see what it is. Because it's just no way that's correct. So this is the beach with all the restaurants and bars. It might be this one, but I think it's this one. Alright. Let's get the nose up here. This is another one of my favorite little airports. It's definitely, it's way harder to land in the sim than it is in real life, because in real life you can feel everything, and it makes a huge difference. Landing in the sim is way harder. And if you can land an airplane consistently well in the sim, I guarantee you can land one consistently well in real life. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say that. If you've, you know, alright, fuel pump on, mixture rich, carb heat's cold. But just being able to feel it makes such a difference.
$500.
Alright, we're stabilized. And the other thing is that no flight simulator has a really good simulation of low speed handling.
Obstacle ahead. Obstacle ahead.
That's true.
Obstacle ahead.
You are correct. You are correct. All right. This is somewhat better. I don't believe that windsock. Yeah. Somewhat better. This is the part right here that sims don't simulate very well, is low speed. Because in a real airplane, you can, once you get below a certain speed, you can just yank the nose up. I mean, not yank the nose up, but hold the nose up, and it's gonna flare nicely for you. In the sim, it's very difficult. You always kind of balloon. But crashes on the loading screen. Bloop, 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 bloop. Where am I going here? Mitch, I would let me see. Hold on, let me type something here. I would try clearing your shader caches, your rolling cache, and your scenery index, and see if that fixes it for you. Here it comes. See, Daniel, you're not that much slower than us. A few knots doesn't make a big difference. Let me see. Hold on. Get a look at this approach here. Where am I? Mitch, I would try deleting your shader caches, rolling cache, and scenery index, and see if that doesn't help you. Yeah, the wind side, I don't know if it's all of my windsocks or if they're just some of them, but windsocks seem pretty darn unreliable in Flight Sim 24. Like, it's like pretty bad actually. That is nice right there. Daniel's showing us how it's done. That is awesome. Alright, let's go flaps up. Trim is good. What am I doing? Let's set the altimeter. Let's go direct Tappa. This will be a little bit. How much is it? How far is it? 46 miles. That'll take, it's not going to take that long. Maybe take 20 minutes, 25 minutes. It's perfect. All right, direct 110. Let's see here. 110 it is, and it's runway 7. I know that. All right. Yeah, that goosed me up too. I always just go by the nose. I don't really pay it. I don't even really look for windsocks in real life anyway. I just go by what the nose is doing. The nose knows. Alright, private pilot check ride question. Can you take off from a displaced threshold? Yes, you can. You can take off and taxi. You cannot land. Alright. Daniel's getting a head start. That's great. Alright. Heading indicator checks with the runway number. Fuel pumps on, mixtures rich, carb heats cold. Takeoff power coming in. 2350 is at least what we want. That's what we got. Engine instruments are in the green. Airspeed's alive. And a properly trimmed airplane will fly itself right off the ground. That was perfect right there. Look at that. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Straight out. Let's see. And let's get the nose down just a tiny bit here. Sweet. This is such a beautiful view. This, I really want to see Saba in real life. This is supposed to be like a really chill island. Like a really, like, calm, quiet. Alright, airplane. Nose down here a little bit. Alright, let's turn the fuel pump off. Check fuel pressure. Fuel pressure is good. Yeah, right? I mean, we'll go 3,000 feet for this one. But, oops. I think we're into a headwind now. So, that must be, what is that? That is, alright, settle down now. That is Montserrat right there. That is another great. The little island right here is Montserrat. The big island behind it is Guadeloupe. Yeah, the windsocks just totally throw me off in this sim. I don't know if it may be something in my settings. Like I may have a package loaded or something. I don't know. But some of them are right and some of them are wrong, and that's even worse. You know, like if I knew they were all wrong, that would be fine. But I don't. I think we are dead into a headwind right here. I think it's gonna be slow going. We'll go 35. Yeah, we'll go 35. I'm trying to think. Which way is, or which altitude is correct? We'll go 3,500 feet. Just so I think, well, maybe a little bit extra altitude is not going to help us, but we'll see. See what it says here in the climb. The other thing I did not do is turn on me transponder, which is poor form. 50 feet below our cruise altitude. Pull the power back at the nose over. Alright. Yeah. Why is it? that my indicated airspeed is so low. It is climbing, but that's pretty low. Yeah, we're gonna have some time for conversation here on the way over to Antigua today. It's about that's at least a 15 knot headwind. At least a 15 knot headwind. Hey, Deadstick, what's going on? CYZR, where is that? Let me take a look here. CYZR. You might not be that far from me, depending on. Let's see here. Where is that? Cernia Chris Hadfield Airport. Let us see here. Where are we? That is beautiful right there. And you're not that far from me. Let me see. Well, I mean, somewhat. Somewhat. That's a beautiful place. What a beautiful part of the world right there. My home airfield is Kilo Romeo Mike Echo. I don't know, my indicated airspeed is pretty lazy for the, I would think I'd get a little more than this, but let's go fuel pump on. Fuel pump off, check fuel pressure. Fuel pressure is good. So, look at that. I love that Commodore 64 box. That's hilarious. A fun afternoon island hopping, don't you guys think? Making 87 knots across the water here. Hey Richard, what's going on? I'm sorry, I didn't see your message earlier. That's awesome. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Let me see here. Oh, I didn't know. I don't know if I'm going to announce this on the channel or not. I may do like a thing about it, but I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to get my single engine commercial this summer. I think that's my plan for the summer. I tend not to fly very much unless I'm doing flight training, which is sort of silly. But if the stars align, I think I'm going to do my single engine commercial this summer. With I've got some ideas beyond that, but we'll see. I've always wanted to be, even if I don't actually do it, I've always wanted to be employable in the field of aviation. Even if I never do it, having the commercial certificate would be kind of cool. I have a good buddy of mine just got his he's got a CFI like last fall, and he's willing to do the commercial with me if I want to. So we shall see. We shall see. Yeah, the prices are nuts. So I did my PPL in 2012 is when I actually got it. I started flight training in 2010, and my instructor at that time was $25 an hour. When I did my instrument in 2021, my instructor was $50 an hour plus a half hour, plus $50 an hour plus a half hour. So $50 an hour plus $25 for like pre-flight, like, you know, pre-flight and debrief. And my buddy who just got his CFI is now charging $80 an hour for instruction. Which, I mean, good flight instruction, sure, you should make more money. Should make good money. But any interest in the toll? Yes. Z Sim Pilot, what's going on, Captain? What are you doing, man? I am interested in that. I am. What about you? You're not an Airbus guy. I mean, I've heard a lot of good things about it, and I theoretically was supposed to get a copy from Aerosoft to preview, but I never got it. But the one thing that I keep hearing from people that have tried it out is just how big that airplane is. Like, I've never seen one in real life, but it's supposedly massive. Yeah, it looks. I mean, I know Tolis has an incredible reputation. I know it has an incredible reputation. But what are you doing, Captain? You're not out exploring the hillsides of Jamaica this afternoon, or maybe you are. But good to see you, man. Tolis for the win. But they only do Airbus stuff, right? I would be surprised to see Captain Hughes in an Airbus. That would be a change of pace for sure. Just got back with the family. We're doing well, man. We're doing well. Been a lazy weekend here. It's been a lazy weekend here. We spent the entire day yesterday doing absolutely nothing. Got up today, watched the Chinese Grand Prix, which was a good time. And yeah, just goofing around today, and then getting some island hopping in, man. You know, a lot of people have said that, and I'd like to see you maybe give an Airbus a try, but I don't think you ever will. It was never on my list of things to do either. And I mean, honestly, for me, like, I'll never put the time into learning Airbus the way I did learning Boeings, you know. The logic is just entirely the opposite, really. I mean, I appreciate Airbus for what it is, but I mean, there's no question it's not my cup of tea. You know, if I had to choose, obviously, you know. I mean, I think if I had to choose one jet for the sim, it'd be the 777. 777. That is an awesome airplane. Let's see, 90 knots, 30 miles. We got another, what, 20 minutes still to go, give or take. Am I still, where's did Sheb and Bedbug have left me in the dust. Where's there's Pilot Daniel in the 152. Do you know? So I've been in the Cessna 150 and watched cars on the road below me pass me. Let's fly to St. Thomas. Kareem, I am down. St. Thomas is one of my favorite approaches. I've never been there in real life, but that approach into Cyril E. King International Airport is one of my favorites. It's a great airport. Great approach. Welcome aboard, sir. Good to see you. And it's funny because I was talking to Z Sim Pilot about this. Like, I'm a GA pilot at heart. You know, like I only started flying jets just kind of. I mean, it was maybe 2021, just out of curiosity more than anything else. And 134 knots ground speed at 65% power. That is sweet. Is what that is. I'm making 84. I've got it floored. I mean, not quite, but I mean, I've got a hair over 2,500 RPM, and I'm not bringing it back. I'll tell you that much. But like, I'm a GA pilot at heart. But the funny thing, like, we think nothing of like sitting in cruise in a jet for like 2 hours to land somewhere. But if you do the same thing in a small airplane, you're like, what's the point of this? What's the difference? Like, what's the difference if I'm covering 100 miles or 1,000 miles? You know? Kareem, I can't today because once we land here in VC Bird, I gotta wrap it up. But we do this every Sunday at 3 p.m. If you want to join next Sunday, we'll fly to St. Thomas. We'll do San Juan, Culebra, St. Thomas. Fly Island guy, what's going on? How you doing? With a 30 knot headwind. Yeah, I mean that's. Yeah, you're doing 50 knots faster than me, Sheb. That's wild. But yeah, I've actually sat in a Cessna 152 and looked down at a highway off my left side and watched cars pass me in real life. It's kind of a funny feeling. But they're getting annoyed by traffic and I'm not. They can also stop and get a cheeseburger and I can't. You know? So let's see here. What do we got? Let's check our weather here at VC Bird International Airport. Lost my dad 6 weeks ago, so life feels a little. Ah, man, Fly Island guy, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sure that does feel odd. My parents are. I mean, my dad has had some serious health problems for a couple of years now. And my mom's doing very, very well, but she is 70, mid 70s. And it's something I think about, and someday it's gonna happen, and I can only imagine, man. I'm sorry to hear that. My condolences to you. Sincerely, I can imagine. I don't mean to equate the two, but a lot of people who watch the channel know my dog passed away in October. And just yesterday, like I was sitting, we were watching TV, and I'm just sitting there, and my freaking eyes got wet, man. I tell you what, it's tough, losing people and companions that mean something to you. It's hard. And again, I don't mean to compare my dog to your father. There's no comparison, obviously. But yeah, Sheb, you know, it's funny that you say that, because there are planes that I don't find much fun to fly in the sim that I would love to fly in real life, and the DA-62 is one of them. You know, like the DA-40, that single engine Diamond, I would love to own one of those in real life. But in the sim, it's not that exciting, you know, because the G1000 flying on autopilot in a single engine airplane just isn't that fun, you know. Yeah, Flying Island guy, you're absolutely right. Thanks, man. I genuinely appreciate that. It's, you know, you think about, no, not at all. Don't be sorry. You know, life is what happens to us, you know. I mean, and that's one of the things I think about a lot with the channel. And I've done a couple of videos on like life stuff, you know. And I mean, to me, it's like, if the only thing I ever did in flight sim with kind of the platform that I have, if the only thing I did was like show you how to get 5% more performance, or like a little bit smoother, you know, performance in your sim, that would be kind of a waste, you know. I mean, it is what, like, the sim is what brings us all here, but like, I'd like to think there's more to our experience together than just that, you know. So don't at all be sorry for bringing up, you know, the loss of your father. These things are huge, you know. And yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's you know, I get I mean, I turned 50 in December, and I don't feel at all 50, you know. But you do start thinking about your the fragility of life, you know. You see there's so many people my age that you see pass away, you know, and it's like, and none of them expect to, and they do. When our time comes, it comes. But man, anyway, but don't at all be sorry to you didn't bring the mood down, my friend, at all. Yeah, DCC Irvin, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You know, there's a song by Pearl Jam that Dave Matthews covers. I'm a huge fan of both bands, but talks about how lucky we are if we have more people that we care about than we can count on one hand, you know. And it's true. We live in you know, the world is bizarre, and it's getting more and more bizarre by the minute, it seems. And you know, I don't think enough people slow down enough in life. A lot of people don't have the luxury that I do, but like, I think a lot of people don't take the time to slow down in life and appreciate what's around them. You know, in particular the people. Tip Rat, what's going on? I saw you slide in there. But I mean, without the people around us that we fill our days with, what's the point, you know? Yeah, you know. Hey, Sierra Delta, what's going on? Are you? That's Tip Rat. I'm sorry, I'm getting myself all goofed up. Tip Rat, good to see you, man. 75. That's not chilly, my friend. That is not chilly. Re-downloaded the game. Blue bar on the bottom. That's weird. Did you, Mitch, did you ever have the map enhancement mod installed? If you've ever had that installed, that might be it too. I've seen people have that cause the sim to crash once they stop using it. Yeah, Fly Island guy, there's my I didn't go, but my 30th high school reunion was last year. And like that to me is like, what? What? Man, Mitch, I'm sort of out of ideas. That's weird. If I think of anything else, I'll let you know, but that's pretty weird. I've heard of people that have these constant crashes on load, but usually clearing all those caches will fix it. Maybe try deleting your user CFG file, and it'll create a new one on load. Maybe that'll do it. I don't know. I mean, it's an idea. It's an idea without harm. So when are you gonna give me the option to? Yeah. If you know what, I've that's what I used to have was the was 3080 Ti, and that's a great card still, in my opinion. I mean, I was literally gifted a 4090 by a very, very generous viewer of the channel, which or otherwise I would still be flying the 3080 Ti. And what I actually want to do is get another sim PC and get the 3080 Ti back up and running, because with the 4090, like for example, I don't use FrameGen anymore, just because it has its drawbacks, right? But I have the luxury of not having to use it. Like with the 3080 Ti, it's a bit of a different story, and I want to get another sim set up where I can get the 3080 Ti going again. And see, there's no way this is correct. There's no way. Where I can get the 3080 Ti going again, so I can test stuff that I can't really test right now. You know. I haven't heard of auto FPS causing problems. It's possible. I mean, I never had any problems with it. I'm sure if you went the GitHub for the 3080 Ti, or 3080, the GitHub for auto FPS has a ton of information on it, so you can check that out, and maybe there's something on there. Yeah, Captain Hughes, that's exactly what I'm thinking, dude. You know, and plus that would allow me to test things, you know, that I just have so much headroom with the 4090 that I just don't need certain things. I have the luxury of not needing FrameGen. So this is another beautiful airliner approach. This is a great airliner approach. I haven't been flying airliners at all. Yeah, the 5070 Ti, I have heard nothing but good things about that card. Everybody I've heard who has one of those says it's fantastic. Yeah, I mean, it's Sheb, I agree. I've never had any problems with it either. It's possible. That's got to be a bummer, not being able to load your sim. So let's get a look in here. Go mixture rich. Go fuel pump on. Wait a minute. Oh, it's one thing. What is there? I think there's an NDB here. Da, 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 da. 114.5 is the VOR. There is no NDB. All right. I mean, like I said, Captain Hughes, I've heard so many good things about the 5070 Ti, and I don't know what the specs of the card are, but I've heard a lot of good things about that card. This is gonna be one long straight in final right here. I mean, I don't know what's happened with the prices because I haven't really looked either. But I mean, I love the 4090. The 4090 is sweet, but I don't know how much it costs right now. $369.0. I was looking on the VATSIM chart or the Navigraph charts, and I didn't see. I didn't see an ADF. I can see 2 white, 2 red right here. What am I doing off? Oh, I can't see my ground speed. Alright, we'll go notch of flaps. Fuel pumps on, mixture's rich, carburet's cold. Alright, let's see here. Let's see here. These are my least favorite approaches in the world. The long straight in final, because it requires skill, which I generally lack. Alright, 3 white, 1 red. Sort of happy with this. But this is what instrument approaches are all about. Long, straight in finals. Keeping the needle centered for 10 minutes. Alright, now go next notch of flaps.
$500.
Stabilize, as stabilized as I can possibly be. Alright. Should be giving me 3 red. Oh, I probably got a huge headwind. Boy. No. Boy, this is a long, slow final right here. One of these days, I'll get one white light. One of these days. Guess not. Power coming out. Boy, float, 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 float. Oh, that's really bad. Oh, it's one of those good landings that was really not that good. Alright. Yeah, that speed got a little draggy there. That speed got a little draggy there. So I don't know why with this. I don't know if it's just me, but I just seem to get these like low energy short finals. Not enough speed. Dropping like a rock. Oh well. Decent crosswind landing. So mixture's leaned. Yeah, I mean, like I said, that was a decent landing. Nothing to write home about. Better than some of them, that's for sure. Some of my own. Breeze back. What's going on? All right, we'll bring it on over here. Bring it on over here to the fellas. It's another cool airport. Alright, we'll clear the runway. Bring the flaps up. Bring the fuel pump off. Landing light off. Where are we gonna go? We'll go right. We'll go. I'll sneak in behind here. Try not to chop Sheb's legs off here. Alright, there we go. Mixture to idle. Cut off throttle is idle. Lights coming off. Let's set the parking brake. Avionics master off. Master and batteries. Or mags off. Master and battery switches off. Cool. Let's get out and say hello. What's going on? Hey, what's happening, dude? What do we got? Hey, you're flying fixed wing today. That's the first time I've seen you in a fixed wing aircraft. This is a cool plane. Is that a 340? Let's go check out some airplanes here. Beautiful sunset. And there's Daniel. Nice. Let's see. Yeah, the threshold does seem to take a while, doesn't it? Hey, what's going on, Twitch boy? Yeah, when you get a 16 knot headwind and your touchdown and your stall speed is like 55 knots, yeah, it can feel pretty slow. But Sheb, yes, they do. All the ones that I don't think I've really found a Freeware 2020 airport that doesn't work in 24. They generally all work in 24. This is a cool airplane. That's a cool airplane. Got the bow. Yeah, fly on guy. It's just what it is. There's Tiprat in the 235. I should have flown that. I don't know why I didn't fly that. That's like actually like the perfect GA airplane. Literally. That is a good moonwalk. Sheb's call sign is... I didn't notice that. I didn't notice that. That is great. Sheb. Mine, all my, well, except for this airplane, because I like this livery. This to me is a classic Let me get over here so you can see it a little bit better. This to me is a classic Piper Cherokee livery. The 3 stripes, and so this is Foxtrot Golf Echo Delta Oscar, and plus we're sort of flying in the French Caribbean, so I like that. I like that that livery. It's one of the stock liveries. But usually what I do is I'll put, like for this I'd put like November 28 Mike Romeo, you know, because my initials are Mike Romeo. But that right there is a sweet airplane. This is probably my favorite. It's probably my favorite airplane in the world. If I had to pick one, Cherokee 235. I would have to say, just a sweet airplane. Sweet, sweet airplane. Cool stuff, guys. Cool stuff. I appreciate everybody coming out again today. And having a nice run of it. I'm gonna get over here. I don't know if I ever told you guys my character in the sim looks like a fat Bono from U2. I don't know why, but it does. It's a pretty slick looking bunch of airplanes right here, if you ask me. Nice. Nice. Well, gentlemen, I need to matriculate here. I need to go and see what my wife is doing. But I do want to thank everybody for coming out. This is a great flight. I got to scratch my St. Eustatius itch today. I've been wanting to fly into that airport for a while now. And was able to do that today. I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did. It was a blast. And it was a blast thanks to you guys. So thanks a lot for everybody coming out. I really appreciate it. And we shall do it next Sunday. And if let me see here. Where are we? Kareem, if you are around next weekend, we're going to do St. Thomas. We're going to do St. Thomas. So next Sunday we'll go out of San Juan. We'll do Culebra. We'll do St. Thomas. We'll do Beef Island. The works. We'll have ourselves a good time. So, hey, Bedbug, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Happy Sunday to you as well. And Mr. Anderson, my thanks to you. If I always say, Daniel, that's awesome. So glad that you joined us. Really, it's so funny how I was saying like you were doing the perfect like real world flying etiquette, and it turned out it was somebody flying with us, which was so cool. Like I said, it would makes things fun when everybody like does things like that, you know, to me anyway. Yeah, I see the same thing, Shub. Tip rat, yeah. I know it is an early day for you, but hey, Fly Island guy, I really appreciate it. Thank you. I always say if it wasn't for you guys, I'd just be sitting here talking to myself. So, but next weekend, Kurt, appreciate it. Thanks for coming out. Next Sunday we'll do the Virgin Islands, and we'll do St. Thomas. We'll do the BVI's. That'd be a good time. So, hope everybody enjoys the rest of your Sunday. Have a good week. Take care and be well. Yeah, Daniel, you're here. Look, I'll show you. Watch. That's your. You know, it's funny because I always assume that everybody's, you know, because flight sim is such a male-dominated world. But I always try to like not assume and especially be welcoming if we have, you know, females that join us to fly, because it's so cool, you know, to get different people in the flight sim community. But you know, and I saw your avatar and I was like, did I assume incorrectly? But yeah, that's your avatar. But in any event, I hope you guys have a great start to your week, and we will see each other back here next Sunday. Sheb, thanks again, man. I appreciate it. So you guys take care. Everybody have a great week. Where's me airplane? There's me airplane. Take care, everybody. Thanks again.